Okay, everyone, let's do a review on factoring. So, if you look at this problem right here, guys, I'm actually going to start by just doing it my way, factoring my way, just by doing guessing and checking. And then we're going to compare and contrast that using the area model and the X method, as I may have shown in class today. I don't care how you do the factoring, guys, as long as you do it right. Okay, so just make sure as we practice factoring throughout the several weeks to the end of the school year even, make sure you know how to factor well. Okay, so enough talk, let's get right to it. Here's how I would simply factor this one. See that 2x squared, guys? I know it's got to be just simply 2x times x. Okay, see the 3 right here? I know it's got to be 3 times 1. Right? There's no other way to make 3. Now what I'm going to do though is I'm going to put the 3 here and the 1 there. Now why would I do that? Because I notice right here in the middle I have 1x, and 3 times 2 on the outside is 6. And I know 1 and 6 can make this negative 5x in the middle if and only if I do plus 1 minus 6. So does everyone agree 1 minus 6 is negative 5x? And let's see if it works. So if I put a plus here, I'll get my plus 1x like I want. If I put a minus here, I will get negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And 1 minus 6 again is negative 5. Notice that 1 times negative 3 is also negative 3. So all the numbers work correctly. So in other words, my final answer is just simply 2x plus 1 times x minus 3. And that's my way. Okay, just factoring with guessing and checking. So pause the video if you need to. Let's do one more, guys, and let's start out with the area model. So the area model goes like this. We take the first and last numbers, we times them together. 6 times 2 is 12. And we're going to do an x problem. As a matter of fact, I have it over here. And we're going to try to figure out a way to get 12, but we also want a minus 1x in the middle. So how do we do that? Well, isn't 3 times 4 12? And how do I get a minus 1 though? Ooh, 6 times negative 2 is negative 12, so I know one of them has to be negative. I can't believe I forgot that. See, that's why I like my way. We take care of the signs as we do it. But anyways, so let me start over here real quick. So what I'm doing to set it up is I need to take the 6 times the negative 2 is negative 12. And of course we need a negative 1 in the middle. Now how do I do that again? I know 3 times 4 is 12, but now I need one of them to be negative to make that negative, right? And because I need a negative 1, I'm going to do 3 minus 4 is negative 1. And from there, some of you guys already know how to set it up with the X method, but what I recommend, guys, is combine that with the area model. Check this out. I know that the 6x squared goes in the top left corner. I know the minus 2 goes in the bottom right corner. I now figured out that the negative 1x here is a 3 and a minus 4x. So I'm going to put the 3x down here and the minus 4x up there. Okay. And let's see what we can do here. And what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to GCF each row. So if you look at that first row right there, do you agree that 6 and 4 have a 2 and they also both have an x, right? So without this getting too messy, I know that right here I'm going to do a 2x GCF. If you look at the bottom row, guys, you notice there's really nothing there to factor except for 1. Correct? And I'm just going to hope and pray this method works, by the way, because I just like my way so much better. So now let's go ahead and do the first column there. Notice how 6 and 3 both have a 3, and x squared and x both have an x. So I know that's 3x. And then finally, if you look at my last column here, they both have a 2 in them, right? Now let's get the signs. For example, I know 3 times 2 is 6x squared. I got that nailed. Now notice 2 times 1 has to be a negative 2. So one of them has to be a negative, right? And I'm going to make the 2 negative because negative 2 times 2 is negative 4x. And now I have negative 2 times 1, negative 2. And if I leave this so positive 1, 1 times 3x is 3x. So putting it all together, guys, here's my final answer. 2x plus 1, and I got that from here, times 3x minus 2. And so that's using the x method combined with the area model. So guys, I recommend you try this if you do not like to factor my way. Okay? So pause the video if you need to. Bottom line, guys, is I don't care how you factor as long as you get it done correctly and you're proficient with it. So again, there's my way where I just guess and check. And here I was trying to demonstrate how to use the X method combined with the area model. You choose which way you like to go, but the important thing, guys, is you got to practice with me every chance we do it together in class. Okay? I'll see you in class.